Hello and welcome to Shahidi TV, Man of the Hour. I call it Man of the Hour because today we indeed have Man of the Hour. Thank you so much for always tuning in, and Erico is in the building. Oh, scratch that. The president of comedy East Africa, EricOmondi. Karibu sana.
Asante, nashukuru sana.
Unafeel aje?
Nasikia poa, na feel niko home.
Now, Erico, I know you to be a man of many hats. You know, it's like wewe, according to the adversities that happen in our country, wanga you're branded according to that because, of course, at the advent, just before Finance Bill was such a very strong song, at the advent of it, ulikuwa na Mama Mboga, and you are labeled leader wa Mama Mboga. Yeah, and saizi, during the boat, ulikuwa labeled the boater. And saizi, currently, you are an activist, and of course, you are a comedian. Yawa yoyote.
Yawa.
Eh?
Mwanasarakasi, mwanaharakati. Mimi nimeitwa vitu mingi. Nimeitwa cloud chaser, nimeitwa joker, comedian, philanthropist, activist, hizo zote.
So how best can we define you as it stands?
The best definition yangu ni EricOmondi. Hivyo tu.
So. Okay, yes. Good to know that. Now, so Erico, okay, I saw you visit last week. There's a way, you were involved in a signature collection because of the referendum. So ningetaka tu kujua, because your target was almost 1 million. So far, how many, if we narrow it down to the number that you've collected, how many signatures so far?
We are starting officially. Kuna wengine watachukua hapa leo. Yeah. We see one of them, sindio? But officially tunaanza on Tuesday. Tutakuwa pale Nairobi Archives, alafu tutaenda around the 47 counties, alafu tutarudi tumalize Nairobi because it's tutakuwa tunazifanya kwa stadium. Ni kama concert. I've talked to artists, musicians, comedians. So ni a whole, tutakuja hapa Bukhungu. Tujaze, entrance ni signature. Yeah, ulipi pesa. Ukipiga signature unaingia. Yes. Yes.
Now, don't you think, of course, because with that, kuna venye propose it, several positions we should scrap them off from the Senate, nominated MCAs and Member of Parliament. So ningetaka tukujua, don't you think by doing that, a common mwananchi, you will be depriving a common mwananchi from essential services that they are supposed to get, of course, with what is considered closer to home, with scrapping off of those offices?
No. We are not scrapping off services. We are scrubbing off politicians. Okay. Hospitali itakuwa tu. Ile pesa tunalipa women rep, tunanunua dawa. Umeona sasa, I like that question. Yeah. We are not taking away services. We are increasing services and decreasing offices and officers, elected officials. So ile pesa ya senator, nilikuwa nimepiga hesabu, ile pesa tutasave inakuja almost 1 trillion. Hiyo itaenda kwa bursary, itaenda kwa medicine. Basically, when we explain, ile salary ya women rep napeleka kwa barabara, salary ya senator napeleka kwa dawa. So services ita increase, products, medicine ita increase. So tunawanyang'anya salary, tunawanyang'anya magari, tunawanyang'anya maofisi, madriver, security, juu hakuna kazi wanafanya. Ile kazi wanafanya ni kukula pesa ya Wakenya, kukula corruption, yeah? Wakipewa wako na budgets. Wakona budgets, wanaendanga Germany, wameenda America, kuna kazi wanafanya, yeah? So we're just taking that money, telling them muende nyumbani, leteni hii pesa, tuko tunawapea, tunaweka kwa services. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about sisi kwa sisi, because of that nimeona umefanya so many projects. There's a way that, people who are very destitute have clearly benefited from that initiative, and you consider it as a collective initiative. That is what you said. So tell us about that for that person who is hearing that for the very first time.
Sisi kwa sisi, as the name suggests, ni us by us for us, or us by us. Yeah. Yes. Ni sisi tu kwa sisi. And the idea came when you realize tuko peke yetu. Gava iko na sisi. So nika realize, huyu akituma 1 bob, 5 bob, 6 bob, 10 bob, huyu atanunua unga. Yeah. So ni kama chama, ile wa mama. Ile merry-go-round ya mama. So nika realize kama mtu ni mgonjwa, niende niweke namba yake. Juu mimi niko na 11 million followers. Yeah. Almost 5 million kwa Instagram, 3 million kwa Facebook. Nikajiuliza, nikienda niweke namba ya huyu, niambie fans wangu mtumie ni 1 bob. Sio ni 1 million. Hiyo itakuwa 1 million. So nikajaribu test tu, ika work. So nikasema idea kwa sisi hatutangoja serikali. Juu watatuangusha. So ikashika and I'm the happiest man. Sasa hizi mimi nikitumiwa shida hivi naonanga hivi nakimbia hapo juu situmii pesa yangu.
Very, very, very thoughtful of you. Now, still on that breath, I just want to know, so what's that criteria that you use to select those that are truly in dire need? And by truly, the keyword is truly in dire need. These are Kenyans, at the end of the day, truly in dire need. What criteria do you choose?
So, if you notice, there are two criteria. Number one, you must be dire. Dire need. Yani ule, yani anakufa. Ayekuwa anakufa. That's number one. Number two, if you see all the cases, hakuna kesi nishawaambia watu ati hi guys, kuna mama ako butere anaitwa Sofia, tumtumie. The first thing mufanya, naingia kwa gari, naenda, naona, so that Kenyans can trust. Nachukua video, huyu mama anataka operation kwa mguu, ndio hii mguu tunaiona. Ama niko hapa Kakamega Referral Hospital. Huyu ako kwa kitanda, ndio huyu daktari. So you have to see. Because when you umesema this is Kenya.
This is Kenya.
This is Kenya, unaweza koniwa. So number one, kama siku hizi, it is very sad. We don't pay rent, stop you. You see dire. Hata school fees. Niko napenda kulipa hata school. Sasa ukinipigia mtoto wangu hajaenda shule na kuambia tu mama. Kuna wengine wako wanakufa. So it has to be dire. So we no longer pay rent. We no longer pay school fees. Unfortunately, we only do with dire situations.
Now, ningetaka tukujua because owing to the current wave of the Gen Zs, it's still on, bado inaendelea mpaka saizi, the current wave. So ningetaka tukujua because, most leaders have encouraged these Gen Zs to join politics and probably vie for the forthcoming elections. Yes. What's your take on that? Can you talk them into that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gen Zs, I am beseeching, requesting, begging you, in 2027, the Kenya National Parliament, wale wako pale ndani, tuwatoe from president, deputy president, MPs, governors, young people, tuko 70% of voters. Kama when you are a young person, go for the MCA, go for the women rep, go for governor.
You're very certain about that, Erico. Hi. Yeah, exactly.
So I took it personal.
Yeah, it's very intense. I can see it in your eyes.
As in, how do you tax pads? Now women reps are Jewy. So wanalipwa kwa nini? Anyway, you need for another one. I'm requesting Gen Z. Smama. I've already started opening an office for sisi kwa sisi. Tutakuja Butere, tutaenda Mumias, tutaenda Kisumu. Will support only young people. Ukisimama Kisumu tunakuja na pesa na t-shirts na kofia na lori, tunakusupport mpaka unaingia. Ukisimama Mombasa, so long as you're a young person, tutakusupport. So I'm answering your question by requesting Gen Zs. See yourself as a leader. Sio ku demonstrate ukishutiwa. You are the next MP. Because you have the numbers. Tutoe wazee waende nyumbani.
Now, still on that, Erico, we can't disregard. Kuna watu, yes, maybe it's not that perceptible, but there are people we can gladly give credit to. When you wamechapa kazi kidogo, because you're all about scrubbing everything.
When you wamechapa kazi ni moja tu. Kwa parliament yote ni moja tu. Ni Babu Owino. Kuna mwingine? Wengine wote afua. Home.
Sawa, very clear. Now,
Pika anatuanga.
Anatuanga. As we wrap up, let's now go back to your identity of you being a comedian, definitely. So ningetaka tu kujua, as a country, in terms of comedy, where do you think we are at?
Comedy imeanza kurudi, na Mwana Churchill amerudi, akina Crazy Kena, Flako wanairudisha. Last year ikirudi nyuma ilikuwa imekufa. So naona vijana wameanza kuamka but because of TikTok nini. So na feel nika comedy inarudi. Ule kumbuka ile time nilikuwa na fight ya Play 75K, nilikuwa nimekasirika juu walikuwa wamelala. Na unajua sasa president wao mimi nilikuwa nimeingia activism, nikaanza kukasirika kwani rais akitoka mchekeshi Yeah, but saizi hatutaki watu tucheki. Saizi tuko matanga. Saizi there's nothing to smile about. There's nothing to laugh about. Hatutaki kucheka, tumekasirika, ushaona watu wakicheka matanga. Kenya yote ni matanga, si harusi. So comedians hata mchekeshe kidogo tu.
You know, my next question was to ask you, you know, because hatujakuona in comedy of late, but you've definitely answered that. According to you, ni matanga. The atmosphere is not that conducive ya kucheka cheka. So even as we wrap up, ningetaka tu kujua. Okay, we normally have a segment in our program called the Jua Lugha Yako. And now that you are in Luya, I would just want to know, Erico, how do we call food kwa Kiluya?
Food? Ay. And I know Busuma. I know Mrenda. Food.
Yeah, that general too. Yeah.
Ai, kwani nisijuaje food na vile napenda food?
Exactly.
So najua chakula, majina za chakula, but sijui food. That's very interesting. Inaitwaje?
Well, that's a question of the day. Shahuria indeed. Ni sawa sawa Shahuria and Obusuma. Now that tunajua Obusuma, of course, that is our identity. So nataka tu kukushukuru. Thank you so much for sparing time to come and talk to us. And definitely, let me just hope that the message has been heard so clearly about the Gen Zs, of course, getting into politics.
It will only take us 2 weeks. A million. It will take us 2 weeks. Alafu kuna watu wako Kenyans in the diaspora wamefungua website, by the way, I forgot to tell you, watakuwa na sign. So people will be able to sign online. So that's why I was saying in my press conference that took 2 weeks. It will be easier. It's a digital era. But I really want to push on ground. Yeah. Mtu ana sign hapo. Kama sign atakwenda pale, watu wa nini? Wa sign, yeah?
Just a supplement one. Now that tuko Uluyani, unajua kuna venye I've realized that we really do have talent hapa hivi. And there's a way that people would, that one person switch into vernacular, that is when his talent comes out very clearly. That's when I get a sense of humor. Yes. What do you think about somebody just switching to purely vernacular content?
It's good, but I would advise against it because it limits you to just kakame Western. Huwezi enda America. Huwezi enda Tanzania. Juu sasa wewe unapiganga tu homanyire unapiga tu Kiluya. Ni sawa utaunda pesa hapa Kakamega, but kuna pesa mob sana kule Nairobi. So piga Kiluya, piga Kiswahili, piga English. Mimi upiganga Luo comedy. Mimi ni mnoma sana. Nikienda Kisumu tunakuanga na stand up ya Kijaluo. But naipiganga Kisumu. But nikienda Churchill napiga. So naweza advice kama wewe ni comedian, jaribu kupiga zote.
I would like to thank you, our viewers, for always tuning in. A very big thank you to you and, of course, to the lovely team that has made this program a success. Just know that this is the home where we tell so many stories and, of course, we focus on the man of the hour. And today, I'm so glad, and I know you've learned 1 or 2 about EricOmondi. And, you know, it's like he's just closer to home. Saizi, as we are speaking, we are at a school, and I'm so glad that this indeed has been a success. So tune in, keep it at Shahidi TV for more vibrant stories. I'm your host, Faith Shikanga, and this is Shahidi Television.